Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in for today's video. I'm gonna jump right into it. I got three MPCs right behind me. I wanna share with you guys some of my input on when do I use one machine versus the other in my beat creation workflow. And also, this is gonna be very helpful for some of you guys that are looking into purchasing an MPC and you're not sure what route you wanna go towards. But before we jump into it, for those of you that already own an MPC, or even if you don't own an MPC, let us know down in the comments what machine are you using at the moment to create music. So these three MPCs that I have right behind me, it's funny because I do use them. There's not like one MPC that's collecting dust. They're all getting used at certain times. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the MPC ONE does get a lot more love from me because that's my main machine. That's the machine that is just resonates with me and it works with my style of making music. But the 2000 XL and the MPC Studio MK2 also have their place in my workflow. Now, I'm gonna start off with the MPC Studio MK2. This MPC right here, if you are somebody that wants to be fully standalone and not worry about a computer screen, this is not gonna be your first choice, or you're not gonna be interested. So when I started using this, I opened up my mind and I explored the MPC software, and I also started embracing just having a computer, the power of a computer, and also a machine right in front of you. And that's where I felt like this machine started to shine for me. And till this day, when my wife is here, my daughter's just playing and there's noise around, but I still wanna create music, I'm able to just put on my headphones, open up the software, and not just having the software, the MPC software, but also being able to have my tools like Splice, YouTube, TrackLib. I'm able to just drag over samples and drop them into these pads. That convenience right there was that's one of my favorite things about working with the Mark II. So when it comes down to putting a beat together within a few minutes, this thing is my go-to machine. Another thing that I really like about the Mark II is the pads. As you guys can see, I got the MPC ONE right here. These are small pads. I've never complained about the small pads. I actually like the small pads, but just having this small device with the full-size pads, they're very similar to my 2000 XL. I don't know, I really do feel that difference versus these small pads. So it's really cool that we're able to have that in such a small device for a very good price. Now that I'm using the MPC software with my beat creation workflow, I'm now using third-party plugins. Like I have my RC20, I got some wave plugins, some UAD plugins, and as I'm making music, I'm able to kind of start giving it a mix on the go, which has been really helpful. Yes, I know some of you guys are gonna say, well, you could use the software also with the MPC ONE, which that is true. You could use third-party plugins if you have it hooked up USB with the MPC ONE, but I noticed that when I'm using the MPC ONE, I am not on the software. I'm just completely 100% standalone on the MPC ONE. And another one of my favorite features is when it comes down to sampling and chopping up your samples, you can do that all within the hardware. Now, this is not 100% hardware only. You do have to have a combination of clicking around and also using the hardware. But when it comes down to slicing up your samples, that's 100% in the hardware, which that's big for me. I love sampling. I love chopping up samples. So for me, being able to do that on a hardware for about $200 and something, that's a big thumbs up. Now the MPC ONE, this machine right here, I can spend hours talking about this machine, but I'm gonna do my best to cut it short. This is my main sampler. The MPC One is the machine that I'm with most of the time when I make music. Why? Because it just resonates with me. It clicks with me. It's the type of workflow that matches my creativity in a very unique way. Now, I've used other samplers which have been great, which all of these machines will sample music. They do a great job, but they will suit different workflows for different people. Out of all these machines that I've mentioned, the MPC One, the MPC workflow has been the best, like just seamless workflow for me. I don't have to think about much technicality. I'm able to get to it and produce ideas that I have in my head without getting too technical. Now, obviously, that's once you learn the machine, you become very familiar with it, you're able to produce your ideas without having to think too much. Now, the MPC One, this machine is fully standalone. You do not need anything. And that's why I actually wanted to make this video over here. I wanted to get away from the computer because this machine and the 2000 XL, these are fully standalone. You do not need no computer. All you need to purchase is the MPC One. I would recommend an SD card. I'll actually leave a link down in the description to the exact SD card that I use. I use a SanDisk Pro. I've never had an issue with those SD cards, and a pair of headphones. So just the MPC One, an SD card, and a pair of headphones. With that alone, you can start making music. You can start sampling, you can start mixing your music within the engine that this MPC One comes with, and you can also give your beats a rough master so you can export it and already have your WAV or MP3 file, and you can already start uploading these files through your social media or any streaming platform. Now, that process that I just mentioned, producing, mixing, mastering, and exporting, that right there, it could all be done within this machine alone. That's crazy. I still amazes me. I use the 2000 XL for a very long time, but I don't mix any beats on the 2000 XL. Like, I will stem these out and mix them into a computer. You still need a computer, in my opinion, with the XL if you want to mix and master. But on the MPC One, you really have a computer at your fingertips. So yes, this thing will cost you about $800 or $900, but that's a computer with the sampler, with everything all in one package. Real quick, let me pause the video. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up if you're getting value out of this video. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're enjoying the content. Let's get back into the video. Now, before I purchased the MPC One, I was looking at other MPCs like the Live 2. They looked really good, and I'm sure they're very good. I've never tested one out myself, but the MPC One, for me, I just saw what it had, and I was like, you know what? This looks like it's gonna work for me. I love the size of it. I love the small pads, and I also love that it has all the function buttons. Like, everything is right there, and I don't have to go to no menu or anything like that. Everything is right at my fingertips. Now, yes, I am boasting about the MPC One, and yes, I enjoy the MPC One workflow, but it's not a perfect machine, and I will also share some pointers on why probably the MPC One is not your machine if you want to go this route. I'm sorry, I don't know. I actually don't have any reason why you wouldn't want an MPC One. I'm really trying to think. If you guys could, let me know down in the comments. Share with us some reasons why the MPC One probably won't be the machine for everybody, but I just can't think of anything right now. I don't know. I honestly don't know. What, it just has a small earphone jack? Maybe that would be a reason, but I don't know. Let's move on to the next machine. Now, the last machine right here, the 2000 XL. This machine is very interesting. I've made videos on this machine. I've touched up on this. Now, the 2000 XL is a standalone machine. Also, just like the MPC One, you don't need no computer. You could just hook up your headphones. You could just buy a cable to sample from your iPhone or from a record player, and you can go ahead and start making music. Oh, and you also would probably need a floppy disk. So this also has a computer within this machine, and you could sample, you could sequence. The sequencer on the 2000 XL is awesome. Now, this machine is not collecting dust. This is not just in the corner and I never touch it. It's a classic, so I don't know. No, I do use this MPC 2000 XL. But when I use the 2000 XL, it's very, very specific moment. It's when I'm alone, my wife is not here, my daughter's not here, I'm really by myself, and I can just really dive into creating music. Because with the 2000 XL, you cannot just chop up a beat within minutes and turn it like, no, you really will invest time on this machine. I've done workflow videos on the machine, make sure you guys check them out. You'll see how long it takes to make a beat, to sample, chop, arrange, like it's a whole different workflow. But you will learn how to fall in love with your tracks using this machine. Now, the 2000 XL, you cannot mix in this machine. There's no EQs, compressors, reverbs. Now, there is some, I think there is an effects outboard that you could attach to it, which I think does give you a few effects, but honestly, you're probably not gonna be doing a full mix on the 2000 XL. Most likely, you're gonna export this and mix it in a DAW. Let me put this down because it's very heavy. So that's pretty much my lineup. A quick summary. The Mark II is literally when I have my daughter, my wife, and I'm trying to make music really quick. I'm able to pick this up and just drag over samples and start creating, and it's really fun having that. Everything is right at my fingertips. That's when I'm picking the Mark II up. Now the MPC ONE, this is when I want to detach from my studio, and not even detach from my studio. It just works for everything on my workflow, but it will take a little longer if I want to transfer samples. I do have to put them in the SD card, move them from the computer into here, or I would have to sample into here and chop it up. So it will take a little longer. It's not as accessible as the MPC ONE, but I mean, it's no deal breaker. This is just gonna work for everything that I do. And then the 2000 XL, this is a very special machine which only gets used in very special occasions. So that's pretty much it right there, guys. Let me know down in the comments, which one do you guys use? Do you own an MPC yet or not? Let us know down in the comments. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and taking the time to check out this video. My name is Malo Beats. If you guys are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you guys subscribe and also hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch y'all on our next video. Peace.